and welcome to the second night of fixtures in our second week of the eLeague of Ireland tournament, powered by Virgin Media. Joining me tonight, of course, it's the man. He's been with me the whole time. We can't get rid of him. Example is with us today. Eric, how are you getting on?
Yeah, very good. Another day, another whole lot of fixtures for the eLeague of Ireland. I'm just looking forward to the games that we have in store for us because there's some absolutely massive games on the line here.
There are indeed. There's been massive games all week and even previous weeks. 5 weeks in total of competitions is what we're looking at here, with 20 clubs battling it out for a live final in the Camden in Dublin on April 18th. It's going to be a spectacular watch. And like you said yourself, Eric, we have a lot of great fixtures on tonight. Let's have a look at some of the fixtures that will be on display. So, Galway United's own Fahy faces off against Dundalk's Eric Finn, who's with us right now. Shelburne's Evan plays against St. Pat's Sebastian Bury. Waterford FC's Jordan Hayes takes on Athlone Town's Lee Kieran's. And Derry FC Andrew Toomey takes on Kerry FC's Nullig O'Donnell. Any of those fixtures stand out to you, Eric?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Owen Mulligan game because obviously Group B, we did see him previously. He just lost the first game against Conor Dooley, but he has the opportunity to start pulling points back. He has picked up 3 points already, and we are gonna see a Group B game on stream as well tonight, which is at the 8 p.m. kickoff time. And it's going to be a massive, massive turnaround for that one specifically. But these are the games that we have in store for us tonight, Gareth. We have Wexford FC's Mark Hayes versus Cork City's Kieran Walsh. And then at 8 o'clock, we have Cove Ramblers Conor Dooley against Sligo Rovers Keelan Byrne. Now, these games are huge, especially Mark Hayes versus Kieran Walsh, which is Wexford versus Cork. Both of these fellas want to top the group. This is an eLeague of Ireland 2023 semi-final in itself. Both of these guys made the semi-finals, and now they're against each other in the group, and both of them want to take home top spot just as much as the other.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to hype up the game too much, but this could be the best on paper fixture we've had so far in the eLeague of Ireland. I mean, Mark's looking good right now. I believe second in the table. Massive game for him. And of course, playing against Kieran Walsh. We know what Mr. Wally can do. He's been around for a long time and has such a presence as well in the Irish EAFC scene. I'm sure Eric will agree.
Yeah, he does. He's a great player. I played both of them actually last night in a couple of friendly games, and both of them were very good. And I said to both of them, whichever one is calmer is going to win this game. I feel like both of them are a very level playing field, extremely good players. And it's just going to be whichever one can handle the situation the best and take the game by the scruff of the neck is going to be the one that takes home the 3 points.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute slugfest, and we cannot wait for it. That fixture will be at our 7:30 kickoff. But after that, we got a Group B fixture, 2 legs. Conor Dooley against Keelan Byrne. A game, Eric, that we chatted about just before the broadcast here. It really affects how the group is going to turn out.
Yeah, exactly. Because we obviously have Keelan, who's on 4 points, and we have Conor Dooley, who's on 3 points, placing second and third, relatively. And both of them really need these 3 points to start building up towards, the end of the group. Because obviously Owen Mulligan, who's with Drogheda United, one of the heavy favourites, especially in that group, is also on 3 points. So if one of them wants to start getting away from the likes of Owen Mulligan, they really need to start climbing up that table. But the likes of Duffy, who is now on 7 points, so he's got a draw and 2 wins under his belt. That's huge momentum as well. He's in top place at the moment. Obviously, he's played 3 games, unlike unlike Conor Dooley, who's played 2. So this is his 3rd game, and it might make him up to 6 points, which would only be 1 behind top spot.
Yeah, that group looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'll talk about it a bit later on, but do you think we're going to see some Conor Dooley magic tonight again?
I really don't know. It's a very interesting game. Both of them are very good players. I played Conor Dooley earlier on today, and he's really, really good. I just can't believe none of us really knew of him before this year because he's putting it up to everybody that he's played against. Obviously, a fantastic result against Owen Mulligan in week 1 of the eLeague of Ireland. But ever since then, he has picked up a loss. Last night, I actually myself, out of just pure interest, I watched back the Conor Dooley versus Duffy game, and it was sensational. It was great.
Yeah.
And luckily for Duffy, he did pull out the victory in the dying minutes of the game to win 4-3. So Dooley's really going to have to make something happen here tonight against Keelan if he wants to get through this group.
It's going to be an interesting one. But listen, going off our first fixture here in just a couple of minutes, Mark Hayes, Wexford FC against Cork City's Kieran Walsh. Eric, for the people at home watching who may not have seen these players before, you literally just said you were playing against them in friendlies, which you do kind of all the time. What can people expect from this fixture tonight?
So I think Welly or Kieran Walsh for Cork City, he will come bursting out the gate. He's going to try and finish this game within the first 30 minutes. It's the way he likes to play. It's especially this year. I feel like he's just zoned in. He's playing from his academy with his organization Wild. Their HQ is down in Cork, I think, and he's playing from that specific setup. And I was talking to him last night about it, and he said it's such a fantastic feeling to he's going to work essentially. You know, he gets to go into a certain space or a certain environment. He gets to lock in and focus, and there's no real distractions around him because he's just there to win essentially. And the likes of Emerald's a fantastic player as well. Not hasn't found it difficult thus far in the group. I've played against him just as much, if not more, than I've played against Kieran Walsh this year. And both of them are just really, really good players. So I don't know who's going to take home the 3 points. I just really feel game management is super important in this one because if one of these want to finish, say, in top spot of their group, they're gonna have to beat each other. That's the only way because realistically, they're gonna take up all 3 points from each game, other than themselves. So if they play against the likes of Rockchalk or Seb, who's also in their group, they're probably going to take on the 3 points, seeing that we've already seen, 12-3, I think it was. Emerald played against Seb, which is a great result. But also, it only matters really to get first place for these two fellas because they're good enough to get it. But will the other one break to allow one of them to get first spot, essentially?
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic watch, and waiting to see who's going to top that group is definitely something I'm going to be keeping my eye on. One thing has to be said though, and I got to mention this, is major props to the likes of Wild who have come in and helped out the likes of Kieran Walsh and Tyrone Ryan in kind of bringing that EAFC career to the next level and putting a bit of professionalism behind it, because something we haven't seen a lot in Ireland, and even with the likes of this tournament with the E-League of Ireland, it's nice to put that kind of attention behind something that players have been asking for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've had the opportunity of going out to say the FAI HQ. We do photo shoots, and we went to the Virgin Media HQ ourselves only before Christmas.
Yeah.
There is a few opportunities out there to be the professional esports person that you are. And it's great when moments like this can shine for players because we don't get to do it all the time, especially in Ireland because the opportunities don't come around that often. But this is a weekly basis for the likes of Kieran Walsh that he can go down to a certain environment and really, lock in and make sure he gets the best possible outcomes in each match. It's really good. Fair play to them.
Yeah, really, really big props to them. Listen, going off the players though, I want to talk more about this, Eric. I think you're gonna have this inside knowledge. Are there any players that we can expect looking into this fixture? Like I know we talked about our Finn Azazes and our Robbie Keanes. Is there anything special in either of these squads?
Not specifically. I do know Welly runs Finazaz and he plays him in right back. I don't recall what Emerald runs. I'd imagine it's going to be a Finazaz as well. Don't think we're going to see Katie McCabe in this one. Probably not Robbie Keane either, which is
Ah,
very sad. But
ah,
both of these teams, they have the best of the best. They both have Bobby Charlton, who played with Waterford back in his heyday. They also have George Best, who played with Cork Celtic way back when as well. So they're going to be just two very, very good teams, and may the best man win.
yeah, listen, it's going to be fantastic. We chatted about it previously, but so many of the groups now, because there's points on the board, we're looking to see who's going to come first, second, and I mean, there's a lot of pressure on these players. Going quickly back again to even the Group B fixture. Anybody in the middle of those types of groups, Eric? I mean, apart from the pressure of the game itself, that has to be weighing on you as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I guess every point matters. If you're in a really difficult group, which in eLeague of Ireland 2021, I had Ranners, who was, arguably the best FC or FIFA at the time, esports player of all time, because, he's had plenty of opportunities abroad. And I also had Welly in my group as well. So it was very difficult. Yeah, it was just one of them things where actually, I think I topped the group in the end with Welly, but, every single point really, really matters. And it's just a matter of fact of zoning in for that specific game and not thinking too far ahead. Because if you do, well, then the game in front of you can kind of get away from you, and your concentration isn't specifically on what's ahead of what's in front of you, but just too far in forward future. That's the one.
No, for sure, for sure. Okay, listen, we're nearly at kickoff time. Eric, I gotta ask you, if I'm to force you to go to one side, which one are you picking right now? Is it Mark or is it Kieran?
I'm gonna say a 6-4 win to Welly. It's gonna be 6-4 to one of them, but I'm gonna go Welly myself.
Okay, listen, that is your example prediction. Let's head over to the fixture and see what we have going on. Game number one kicking off. We got Mark Hayes, Wexford FC versus Kieran Walsh representing Cork City. Eric, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I actually can't wait to see, because obviously it's going to be a really top tier game in terms of, ability. We're going to see a very competitive game, but also some real high end gameplay. Both of these guys, they don't really put the ball in the air that much, unlike myself, but they're going to see some real liquid football. They're going to just bang the ball around the box, and both of them better be defending well tonight, because if they don't, we're going to see too many goals for us to keep up with.
Yeah, we've seen that so much before. It's very much attacking based football in a lot of these games, and you can definitely expect that in fixture one tonight. We have Wexford FC here shooting from left to right, and Cork City from right to left. De Bruyne saved by Czech early on, and you called it, Eric. I mean, Welly just comes out the gate running.
Yeah, I actually thought that De Bruyne was offside there, but Welly obviously knew better than I did in this scenario. Again, a lovely ball inside to De Bruyne. Unlucky to not get the goal, and that's something that Emerald's going to have to really mind here, because that's a very possible thing to happen. Like just kind of switching off. When I played against Emerald, is that a ball inside R9? And it is a goal to Wexford FC's Mark Hayes. I'm not entirely sure how that ball got across, not even just to Ronaldo, but then he skipped it by the defender and slotted it into the near post.
Wow, yeah, the cross came in, R9 chested it, and we expected a clearance, right? But nothing came. And I mean, R9 in the box, Eric, you don't need to be a mastermind or any sort of high skill to put that in the back of the net. Great finish all the same, though. Wexford 1-0.
Yeah, no, crazy. Great start for Emerald, because it's really, really hard to score early against Welly, or Kieran Walsh, should I say, because he, again, as we mentioned, he comes out so quick, and now I'd imagine Kieran Walsh's game plan is kind of interrupted, because he's not getting the way that he wanted it. He wanted to have the goal first up, but George Best is coming through, well defended by Ferdinand and Mark Hayes, but Bobby Charlton wins it back in the box. George Best looking for De Bruyne, finesse shot, Bellingham sends it out for a corner, and again, Welly putting on the pressure.
Yeah, Welly really coming through here, and if there's anybody on the edge of the box to hit that finesse, you bet Kevin De Bruyne is going to be knocking at that door, but he's done very well. Mark's defended the corner, has a counter of his own, and the Welly pressure coming back in. We've seen it early on. We're going to see it again. Best here to Mbappe. Finds the pass over. Frimpong is there in that passing lane, and those reaction times to defend that from Mark of Wexford FC, very impressive.
Yeah, he's a top tier player as well, so he's going to have defense unlock. He has that early goal now. He's already interrupted the flow of Cork. So, if he can just slow this game down, play the game to his tempo, at a goal up, he's in a huge, huge advantageous position, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he's at a great spot already. Not many players playing against a high-quality opponent like Mr. Welly can say they've gone 1-0 up so fast against them. But Mark really doing a great job here, holding a bit of possession, trying to control the gameplay. Frimpong at the right side here, looking for the switch. Welly was quick to try to cover that. McCabe on the ball. Bit of possession play here.
We do have
McCabe.
Mark.
We do actually. Yeah, McCabe in there as well, Eric. Will she get a goal tonight? You never know.
My fingers are crossed, but I have a feeling in the setup that Emerald runs, his right back. So we see Frimpong on the ball now. Frimpong is that player that runs down the line and tries to get a nice cross in, or looks for a little cutback like he is thus now. Nothing on at the moment. George Best into Azaz, and then into R9, but nothing comes. I got very excited when I saw Azaz near the box.
Oh, hit it with Azaz. Don't be shy. Go for it. God, I want to see Phil Azaz on the score sheet. Theo Hernandez clears the ball out for Welly here. And once again, another great opportunity. We talk about Welly and his pressure, but Mark doesn't seem to be bothered by it early on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think in FC 24, it is possible to keep the ball for nearly as long as you want. I guess Emerald's doing a great job of that thus far, but Mbappe's through. Oh. It's a finish to the near post. And Kieran Walsh has cut his deficit, which doesn't exist anymore. It's 1-1.
Wow, unbelievable. Kylian Mbappe. And listen, if you've watched this game for any moments of time, you would have seen a step over boost, Eric. It's one of the easiest moves in the game, but one of the best.
Yeah, yeah. I think myself playing against Kieran so much, and especially Tyrone, his teammate at Wild, both of them love the step over boost. They do it better than anybody in Ireland. It's not something that I can do like them, even in the slightest. So anytime I play against them, I just know to be sure and mark that as like quickly as possible, because if you don't, you're gonna get punished, just like Emerald did.
Yeah, and with a player like Mbappe, that acceleration, I mean, he's
Yeah.
gone. You got to be on that quickly, or Mbappe is gone. He's through on goal. Something for Mark to look to defend here, going in to the rest of this fixture. Ruben Diaz swaps it over to Katie McCabe, looking to get the ball forward here, and he has that switch possibly on the right-hand side, like you were saying with Frimpong, and that's exactly what he's doing. Brings it over right-hand side. Finn Azaz looking to move the ball forward, and while he's covering passing lanes fast, it looks like both players are starting to settle into this game.
Yeah, I think it's time now for Welly to just defend well and maybe start building up attacks of his own, in a slow manner, because gonna keep getting chances like this is Emerald. Unfortunate there. He held onto the ball well. There was just no cutting edge, to get a real chance on goal. And now Kylian Mbappe versus Ruben Diaz, and there's only one winner there, Gara.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz, he's been rock solid in any team here in the E-League of Ireland, and he still holds that stature today. Best on the ball, has an option through in R9, has a man in the middle, and Bobby Charlton who's onside. What a save! Is he off? Is he on? I can't tell. He's offside. That line was so close, Eric. Luckily, it's a virtual game, but we don't need no VAR.
I really thought he was onside personally. And it was, again, a lovely keeper movement from Kieran Walsh, because he had the chance and it just didn't pay off. And I'm seeing Emerald trying to utilize these. That's what the pass that he's doing there is R1 and square. It's good for switches, and it's a manual ball. You get the place where the ball goes. Just not utilizing it correctly at the moment, just like Azaz has done over to Theo Hernandez for Kieran Walsh. It's something that pros are starting to use quite often, obviously to give so much space like it has now. But again, Ruben Diaz playing really, really well for Mark.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz being rock solid, cutting out every passing lane essentially so far. Still more to come though. Great ball, 360 over to R9. Don't see that often. And Roy Keane outstrengths R9. Eric, things you love to see.
Yeah, but that's, what, that's not something that I would consider completely out of the question. Roy Keane, full of heart in his playing days, and full of heart there to get R9 off the ball.
Yeah, very well played by Roy Keane there. Take the ball off R9 and goes back to Mark again. 30 minutes on the clock. Time is ticking. Once again, for anybody watching at home, this is a one-leg fixture. So they wanted that second game to get used to each other, Eric. This second half is massive.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for this game to finish a draw for both competitors. It would just make the reverse fixture that bit more impressive. But here we have R9. Oh, shot on target. If it goes to the other side, it's an easy goal. Again, lovely run from Wexford FC all the way down the right-hand side. Gets the cutback, and he just can't find the back of the net. I'm sure Mark won't be very happy with that.
Yeah, it looks. He went. I don't know if he went for the near post or the far post shot there, but far post was on. Very, very unlucky. Great save as well. I mean, from that close against R9, it takes a high-level keeper to save that and get that ball out, and he done so. Very, very unlucky by Mark. And it seems that, when the ball goes to Welly, he's attack, and here he is again, Bobby Charlton. Don't even get to finish my sentence. Welly in again, makes it 2, and it's what he does. Incredible, incredible goal.
Yeah, he just picked apart Mark very quickly. And looked for that driven pass into Bobby Charlton, turned and shot across net. It doesn't look like a difficult goal, but to get the space that Bobby Charlton did, I would consider that difficult enough, because it's very rare in high-level games like this that you get so much space. And he worked it so well, disguised the run of Bobby Charlton, and it was just an easy pass into the feet. But it's 2-1 to Cork City.
Yeah, he played it really well out wide and just found the gap, and those are the best pros, Eric. I'm sure you'll agree that are able to capitalize on the smallest mistake, and Welly did it to perfection there.
Yeah. Like, again, he is a great player, and he must be locked in at the moment, because he's staying patient. He's not getting frustrated with the amount of possession that Wexford has against them. Obviously Mark is keeping the ball very well. There's just not a lot coming out of it at the moment. But Welly's probably just saying to himself, "That's completely fine with me. I'm now winning 2-1. You can do this all day, and I'll just keep defending the way I am."
Yeah, he's doing well with the midfield. There's so many players there as well trying to interrupt those passing lanes and to get possession back. But Finn Azaz moves forward for Mark. His options out wide with Frimpong trying to find players in the middle. He does so. Finn Azaz again finding a lot of time on the ball here. Goes back to Frimpong. Bobby Charlton gets it out. And yeah, just that defensive line and midfield pressure from Mr. Welly. It's very, very hard to get around.
Yeah, I think he might have a chance here if he can get past the left. Oh, he can't. But again, this is the last attack of the half, I would imagine. And it's going to be Theo Hernandez, who was just offside.
Ooh.
And that makes it 2-1 to Cork City at the halftime break.
Very, very good half from both players. You know, we've seen Mark start off that half in very, very good fashion. Got the early goal, but well, he's been in this game too long. He knows exactly how to get a goal back or even two, and he's done so this evening. One half in the books. We still have one more half to go. Eric, how do you see it going?
Yeah, to be honest, I think Kieran with Cork City will be very happy with how he's played. He went the goal down, and he still's not getting a lot of the ball. He's not getting a lot of possession whatsoever, which, you know, credit to Mark and Wexford for that. But also, Mark has to move a bit quicker, especially when he's on the ball. Kieran is too good at defending, you know, too quick with his midfield and his right stick switching. He's not allowing for anything at a slower pace to get through his defense. So I think for Wexford, what he really has to do is step up how fast he's playing. He needs to start trying to drill the ball into the feet of players to kind of bamboozle Cork a little bit even, because right now, Cork's sitting pretty. Does that make sense?
It does indeed. They're looking pretty. I think I got it, Eric. It's a good game so far, but listen, let's head over to the second half right now. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. Kieran Walsh versus Mark Hayes. Let's get it on. Oh, it seems to be another pause going on here. I'm not sure. A few extra decisions being made here, Eric, possibly.
Yeah, I think, well, it could be one or the other. Both of them could just need a breather, which is fair enough. This is what pauses are for, especially at halftime. This is when, you know, you take the time. Again, this is a really, really important fixture. This could, you know, shape who comes first or who comes second in this entire group, because both of these players, realistically, they should beat everybody else in the group. But for these two competitors, whoever wins this is more likely to finish first in the group, which means then going into, let's say, when they get to the Camden at the Land Finals on April 18th, it means their opponent will have finished second in another group, and obviously means it gives you a better chance of getting to that semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, you know, you want the better seed options going into that. So every single point on the board matters here. And like you said yourself there, I'm sure both players would appreciate a draw. But Welly right now, he's in the driver's seat. Can he hold out this win? We're going to have to wait and find out. Wins the ball back here, but goes back to Mark, who gets possession here in the midfield. Finn Azaz. That midfield, look at the pressure. Passing lanes being marked very, very quickly. Jude Bellingham on the ball, looking for an option. Bobby Charlton's there. Big attack now for Welly. Can he capitalize on this? Kylian Mbappe moving forward. It's 1v3 here. Bobby Charlton's very slow in the middle to get up. Theo Hernandez on the left, though, giving him an option out wide. Kevin De Bruyne, Bobby Charlton, Kylian Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo! And that's the goal to make it 3. Incredible.
Yeah, great work from yourself there, Gareth. That was great commentary. You got everything spot on. Everything worked out in Cork City's favour. I think Emerald will be a little bit disappointed with that. And again, a stray ball there. This is not a performance that he's going to want to remember. But there is still a lot of time. He just needs to get himself together, because 2 goals is something that you can easily come back from. But it could be more than that now, and it is. Kylian Mbappe for Cork City makes it 4-1. That is incredible.
Welly has just turned it on here. He's gone at the half-time marker and just said, I'm going to come out and score more goals. I'm not sitting pretty here. And wow, what an attacking performance. 2 goals in quick succession in under 10 minutes. What more can he do, Eric, is the question. 45 left on, oh, sorry, not 45, 35 left on the clock. She could get 1 or 2 more here. Mark needs to level this up.
Yeah, exactly. Like 3 goals is some deficit, but it's definitely not over. We see Mark on the ball now, looking to try and force feed it through right in, but he just can't do it today. Obviously, we see the player lock coming out from Kieran Walsh. He's not happy with just a 4-1 win, of course. They want to make each other lose emphatically, just to get in each other's heads that bit more for the return fixture. And it's a very lucky goal. It is a crazy goal there. A red time
Oh,
shot from Cristiano Ronaldo makes check, parry the ball back into the line of Cristiano Ronaldo, where he just makes the easiest of finishes. And 5-1. I don't think that's a deserving scoreline, but nonetheless, that's the scoreline we're getting right now.
Eric, those are the goals I'd be conceding in foot champs, man. And let me tell you, they are not pretty whatsoever. Red time shots getting rebounded in. I don't like that, but listen, it's part of the game. It was a well-worked attack, of course, by Welly. Got very unlucky with the red time shot, but of course, bounced right back to Cristiano Ronaldo. And that's the man you want heading the ball here. 5-1 on the scoreline. Mark trying to force it through. Roy Keane there in the middle. Unlucky again. And, you know, like you said about the scoreline, Marcus had some massive chances here. I feel like he's been unlucky not to put a few away, and he's definitely going to be thinking about that going into the end of the second half.
Yeah, exactly that. And again, I think he'll look back on this game and realize he hasn't played as quickly as maybe he should have, because when you're in a high level game like this, it's just really, really hard to get anything going if you're playing any sort of slower pace, which is fine. I understand you have to manage game and you have to make sure that you're building up slow. But once you get to your opponent's final third, you really do have to turn it on and make sure that you're getting chances on goal, because right now that's exactly what Welly's doing, and it's worked out amazingly for him.
Yeah, Welly has a lot of options going forward here, and you know, like you said, it can be something to attack as well. You know, he has that wing back going up. Could be a side to go down here that we're seeing Best actually activate right now. Will he find an option in the middle? He does indeed. Finn Azars finds Ronaldo, and that's a great finish. The turn on the shot. Ornine puts it in the net. There's 3 goals in it, Eric, but it's possible.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think now we're going to see Welly start to take the sting out of the game a little bit. But again, lovely play from Mark. I would imagine he's saying to himself, why couldn't I have done that earlier on? But it might not be too late. There's only 3 goals in it now. And again, this is 9 minutes and a half a game of FC. So there is enough time to get them 3 goals. But he just needs to keep attacking that way, because that was sensational from Mark.
It was very good. But here's Best, and he puts it in the far post. Incredible finish by Welly. And oh man, he just seems to have the perfect passing options every time. There always has a man in the middle. Very, very hard to defend, but fantastic finish.
Yeah, he's done really well again. You know, this is how good he is in attack, though. It's just really hard to defend against him, because every time he goes forward, he just has so many options. There's literally 4 Cork City players in the box right now, and it's now away. But still, the pressure is being piled on. Best with the free kick given away, and Mark might be able to build something. 4 goals is a tough deficit to crawl back into, but it's definitely not impossible for the skill level of both of these competitors.
100%. And even the chances that Marcus produced, he's definitely able to produce another 4, that's for sure. But if he's able to defend Welly's onslaught and attack here, that's the real question that I want to see answered. Ornine gets the ball, and Kevin De Bruyne cuts out that passing lane. Welly's options moving forward, and he switches it so fast, so quick on the ball. And it's very hard to set up a team against a player like Welly, you know, with all the fast passing going forward. And Mbappe just runs by the keeper. He sends him for a hot dog again. Fantastic finish. And this Welly attack, Eric, I don't know how you're going to stop it. I mean, wow, just so many options.
Yeah, no, he's doing very well. Luckily, I don't get to play him until perhaps the LAN event. So, you know, different different factors in there, of course, compared to online. But you know, he's played amazingly. And more so, I'm looking forward to the JP game that we have next week. But at the moment, Welly, just like JP and probably like Tyrone and even the likes of Owen Mulligan, we have some really high-level players this year. They're all really showing up now. Obviously, Owen did get defeated in week 1, but he's pulled back a win, and we're just seeing a lot of high-skilled players in Ireland. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, it's really good to see all the talent here that's being showcased in the eLeague of Ireland. Of course, we have Welly here, and he's putting it out for the green, white, and gold. Look at that. Well, Bobby Charlton Frimpong just gets the ball back, and we've Best moving forward here for Mark, looking for another opportunity to put one past Welly, and he could have one here. Tries to play with Frimpong. Ruben Diaz just there again in the middle, and he's definitely a player to watch in this event. If anybody has that card, they've got to be careful.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking as well about even the goal difference in this game. It's so amazing, really, that Welly's beating him by seven goals to 2, and I'd imagine when it comes to the group, it's going to be head-to-head based. So even with the 7-2 win, it's going to be hard for Emerald to crawl back and try and get that first spot. I think at the
Yeah.
moment it's even say, let's say for argument's sake, in the reverse fixture, if let's say Emerald was to beat Welly by 4 goals, then he would still get that second place. So it's going to be an interesting finish. I would imagine Emerald does want to pull a goal back, but he doesn't want to make it too much of an issue of it, because right now he should just be happy that he has second place and he's done really well to get that, and then just think about the LAN event really.
Yeah, I mean, look, solidifying either of those spots is what anybody
Yeah.
wants, and to even get that far with other players in the group as well. I mean, we're talking about only 2 players in the group out of 5 in each group. Fantastic players. Really, really impressive to get anywhere near the top of that table here. And I suppose it goes to show you the level of talent, and Ronaldo puts it in the net, as I say it. The level of talent here in all the groups, it's so nice to see.
Yeah, it really is. I think there's a lot of good fixtures in every group that we have. And for the groups, there's games to be excited about in every single one of them, which is great to see, honestly, because last year there was maybe some groups that didn't get as much airtime because there was just fellas running away with it, and there's no real point to showing games. It'd be like watching Luton versus Darlington. You know what I mean? Nobody really wants to watch that. But this year we have a much better selection of competitors, and everything is going according to plan for most of them, but not all, because the likes of Owen Mulligan are definitely finding it difficult. But right now, Emerald with a consolation goal, perhaps he doesn't get it. And that is going to be a stinger. Even the goal there to make it 8-3 could have been nice for him. He might even get a chance. Finazaz on the ball into R9, running down the right-hand side. Can he get a consolation goal? Great defending once again. And I must say, Kieran Walsh for Cork City has been merciless tonight.
Yeah, he really has. He's been showing his best tonight, and he's just in flying form here. If anything can stop this man, I want to see what it is. Attack absolutely phenomenal, and even his defensive game was so good. He's seen once again they're just cutting out the play. Last attack of the game, Theo Hernandez, Bobby Charlton finds the ball in the middle. Cristiano Ronaldo, George Best. Oh, and it's a save, and it goes out for a corner kick, and he just keeps going. Eric, we see some pros in these games, they'll try to slow it down when you hit the 70th minute or so, but he just doesn't stop.
No, and you know what? He's dead right to not stop. And I seen somebody not move the controller enough there to mark that, and I'd imagine that is not something you want to see. 9-2 is the finishing score. Cork City is fair play to Kieran Walsh, an amazing result against a very good player in Wexford's Mark Hayes. There was only one winner today, and it was emphatic.
Yeah, fantastic fixture, and well done for both players, of course, for showing up and doing very well in their table so far. But Mr. Welly is going to walk away top of the table after that fixture. Look, we talked about Welly and what he can do. And Eric, you said it so well yourself. The second the game starts, he is off to the races. We've seen a slow start from him today against Mark. I feel like Mark could have been arguably the better player in the first 10, 15 minutes, but after that, it was just Welly's world.
Yeah, it really was. Like, he took over the game. Obviously, we've seen Mark, he built up quite slowly, which is fine. As I said to you before, it's perfect to do that. But it's also then having the transition between, building up in your own third and then going into the midfield, but then having the final third, quick and rapid, just like it would be in a normal game, like Welly did. Welly was playing specifically fast everywhere on the pitch. And I think Mark was right to slow it down, building up from the fence in the midfield, but he just didn't turn it on when he got into his opponent's final third. And I think that's what really killed his attacks, because it just allowed for Cork to just chill out, wait for Mark and wait for Wexford to do what they wanted to do, and then just step into the passing lanes accordingly. So, and it worked out in Cork's favor. And he got 9 goals, by the way. That's in fact, that's probably the biggest amount of goals we've seen on broadcast so far.
I think so. I mean, in one single fixture, it certainly is. Incredible performance. And, one thing I really want to highlight as well with that attack and play, for me at least, looking at that, I play the game every weekend and
Yeah.
every week. Just how fast that direct passing that he does is, the way he's able to play the ball, stop it, play the ball, stop it. And it seems to be a way that is very hard to cover the passing lanes because he's so quick when he gets the ball.
Yeah, he's phenomenal when he's cooking. He's just really really hard to stop. And realistically, when I play him, I don't really try and stop him. I just try and stop where he's going to go next. I don't
Yeah.
ever think about where he is at the moment. I just think about where he's going to hurt me from. And usually, when he's on the ball, it's not the person on the ball that's going to hurt me. It's all these lads running around me that are just making these insane runs that work very very well for him. And today, unfortunately, Wexford found it very difficult to cover those passes, and Welly got on the end of 9 of them.
Yeah, fantastic fixture there. We're going to take a quick break, folks. We're going to have our second fixture just in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you shortly. All right, welcome back here to the E-League of Ireland tournament. Eric, we have our second fixture coming up. Do you want to tell the people what's going on?
Yeah, so we have Connor Dooley's Cove from Cove Ramblers, should I say, against Keelan Hobb. Now, I think this is actually a really interesting game for Group B. I just feel like both of these fellas have picked up points somewhere or other. Obviously, Connor Dooley beating Owen Mulligan from Drogheda United, and then Keelan Hobb picking up 3 points as well. Both of these people start in place second and third. So there's plenty of scope for them to improve and try and catch who's in first, who's actually on 7 points. Big Duffy hasn't been beaten at all this tournament, who's on 7 points. So if Keelan Byrne can beat his opponent, which is Connor Dooley and Cove Ramblers, then that would make him 7 points as well. And that was actually a game that we casted over on day one of eLeague of Ireland, powered by Virgin Media, of course. That game finished 4-4. It was the only draw that we've seen so far, actually.
Yeah, it was indeed, but it was an absolutely fantastic fixture, and hopefully we're going to see another one today. With Connor Dooley, we know his ability to move forward. He's able to grab goals at any given time. He's an exciting character to watch as well, Eric.
Yeah, exactly. So I think both of these fellas, again, we're going to see plenty of ball on the ground. I actually, even if I was to give my example prediction, I'm not entirely sure what I could give here. And again, for the viewers at home, this is a two-legged affair. We're going to see, obviously, 6 minutes a half for game one and 6 minutes a half for game two. And I'm just excited to get underway because I really don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, and one thing, Eric, I gotta say, from watching the one-leg games and the two-leg games, they have a lot of story to them, Eric. It's
Yeah.
they have an intro, they've drama in the middle, and they have an ending, and that second game really adds a lot to it.
Yeah, it really does. I think obviously you get a bit more of a break after game one. So obviously, if you have game one, you have a decent length of a break, and then game two. While in the 9 minute games, we have the 9 minute half, and then the lads are already in game, so they don't get that break. They might take a few seconds to have a sip of water to reinvigorate themselves, but realistically, the break is nowhere near the length that it would be in this. So I think we're nearly off kickoff, Garda, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's on top in Group B.
We have to wait and see. All right, here is your fixture. We got Connor Dooley for Cove Ramblers up against Keelan Byrne, Sligo Rovers. Here
well, thanks, Guy.
go.
I can't
And Eric,
wait
we chatted earlier about the points on the board and how much it means to each of these guys in the group. This is a massive fixture for everybody in that group.
Here's the lineup.
Yeah, I think
for the
every
old
single
boys.
person
Allison is in
Group
goal.
B is
Teo
either going to be
Hernandez
playing or
starts
watching
with
this
Jeremy
right here
Frimpong in the
with us
fullback
on
positions,
FAI
and the main man in
because,
attack
again, like you
is
said,
Erling
I think
Haaland.
there's 4 people in this group of 5 that are definitely
The old boys moving forward now with
out of the
options
group
available.
and into those land finals, April 18th in the Camden in Dublin, and I can't
Hernandez.
wait for that, of course. But you got to get there first, and for Group B, it's anybody's group
Put
to
into
have.
the middle.
It is
This
indeed,
is how
and
the
this
visitors
fixture is
start
going
the
to
game.
tell a tale
Allison
of
is in goal.
who possibly
Virgil
comes
van
out
Dijk
on top.
plays
We have to wait and
alongside
see.
Ruben Dias in
We have
central
Keelan Byrne
defence.
here moving from
George
right to
Best
left in the
plays
Sligo Rovers
alongside
kit.
Kevin De Bruyne
And of course, we have
in
Connor
midfield,
Dooley
and they're
wearing
going
the
with a
Irish
3-4-3
white away
for
kit,
this game.
going from left to right. Keelan on the ball here with Frimpong moving forward, trying to find options in the middle. He finds it fast. Ronaldo on the ball, step over, he has space in the middle, and there's the early goal. Erling Haaland makes it 1. Sligo Rovers take the lead.
Yeah, lovely goal from Keelan Byrne. Obviously, early goals are very important. We've seen them time and time again, and it's good to see one again here because it just means, Garrett, we're going to have another slog fest, should you call it. Plenty of goals and plenty of opportunities. Both of these guys well able to attack, but let's see how their defense is.
We're going to have to see how well his defense is. Can Sligo Rovers defend this onslaught? Looks like they can't. George Best makes it 1-1. And Eric, you predicted it. Call you Mystic Mac because you literally called it. It's 1-1 right now, and we are in for a treat.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a second again here, Gareth. It's just one of them games. We're going to be sweating by halftime, and I'm probably going to be... I'm going to have to mute just to get a little breather in. But at the moment, it's 1-1 within 13 minutes, and there's still so much time left.
Yeah, there's a lot of time here on the clock, and Keelan wants to make use of it here. Best in the middle. We'll see another one. We will indeed. George Best makes it 2, and it's no defense FC here. 3 goals inside 15 minutes. This is what the people came to watch, and I'm not even going to get to speak. Kylian Mbappe is about to make it 2-1. Listening. No, it's not. It's Haaland. Great defending. And the first block of the night, Eric, came 16 minutes in.
Yeah, great attacks by both players, of course. You know, the 3 goals that have been scored have been well worked, and like there's no fluke involved there. It's just very good attacking. So I'm interested to see, will this quiet down? Surely it has to at some point, Gareth, right?
I mean, fatigue has to hit these guys mentally at some point, but then again, they're here for a reason, and Dooley looks like he's willing to get another goal, but Kaelan blocks it well. Roy Keane in the middle. And usually in these games, Eric, I know it's attack. There's usually a couple of minutes where the players both calm down and evaluate what's going on for a minute, but I'm not seeing it so far.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly seem like it's slowing down, only getting faster. Both of these fellas are just going for the jugular. They really are. I think both of them obviously know how important this game is, and they're trying, rather than let their nerves get the better of them, they've just said, put your nerves aside and let's just go hell for leather. Who made a best man win? Whoever attacks better is going to win this game. Who cares about defense?
Yeah, their attacks have been so clean so far. And we still have a whole fixture and 3/4 left to play here. Charlton, De Bruyne on the edge with a power shot. You love to see that. That could be our first power shot we've seen so far, Eric. Unlucky by Kevin De Bruyne, but defended well and brick defense in that point from Dooley.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen much power shots, which I'm quite interested about. Myself, I like an old power shot, Garrett. I like yourself.
I do,
we have
yeah.
Keelan Byrne here. Does a lovely drag back fake into De Bruyne, who tries to step over boost into the space within the box, but great defending from Dooley. And now we're going to see maybe the sting being taken out of the tempo. Please, I ask, Garrett, what you think?
I mean, they're going for it again. Frimpong doesn't seem to agree with you at all. He's blazing down that right-hand side. He's slowing it down just a tad, but making sure they pick the right options. And it's really, you know, accurate attack as well. They're trying to make sure that everything they do right now is justified, and 100% passing is what they're going for here. And Haaland's looking to add on to that. George Best with the step over, defended well. And it goes back to Keelan, just keeps going back and forth. De Bruyne again on the edge of the box. Finds Haaland, tries to get the pass in. Great defending. Finn Azaz and the crew lead it out there, and well defended by Dooley.
Yeah, I genuinely think we could see either of these two players go 4 goals down, and it's still going to be a tight game. It's still just going to be anybody could take it, regardless of the deficit someone's going to have to face. But at the moment, a lovely ball in the air was lifted by Conor Dooley. Tried to find Haaland, but there's only one player in the game that could match Haaland physically in the air, and that has to be Virgil van Dijk. But there is another goal, and it's now 2-2 within the first 36 minutes. Both of these guys are not going down without a fight. It's like 2-2. It's so early. Please, just relax.
Conor Dooley, we know he's relentless, and he's putting it on show tonight. Keelan couldn't defend that onslaught of attack. Couple of attacks there back-to-back, and Dooley gets the goal again here to equalise 2-2 just inside 40 minutes. It's constant energy here from both sides. Ball through. R9 with the touch out wide, and Van Dijk, he's going to be that player that outstrengths you.
Yeah, exactly that. And funnily enough, it's very rare that we get to see Van Dijk in these teams. It's a hard item to acquire within Ultimate Team, and then we have them in this game for both players. So it's got to be a difficult one, especially for the likes of Haaland. Again, we see a ball risen in the air, and he wasn't able to win it. But the likes of Van Dijk, he will keep Haaland a bit quiet in this game, I think.
Oh, Finn Azaz though, hello! Goes
Yeah.
wide for a corner kick. Tell you, Eric, that's what you want to see. Finn Azaz on the edge of the box.
And I love it more so that these two men are willing to take their chance with Finn Azaz on the ball and try and get a goal. Because a lot of the time, there's not a lot of trust put in him. God bless him, because he has the opportunities to get the goals, but we do see a header from Haaland. He goes front post, and he picks it out nicely and sends the ball into an empty net where Petr Cech should have been. And the keeper was outsmarted by Conor Dooley there. 3-2 right at the brink.
Wow. Just got the lead at the brink of halftime, Eric, like you said. And, you know, it has to be said, we don't often see set pieces being scored. I feel like pros are set up to defend them. But, I mean, Haaland on the near post, that happened so fast. And it was really, really well worked by Conor Dooley.
I'll have you know, I played earlier on, and I won 6-1. And I love a good substitution. I brought David Beckham off the bench personally. Ooh. And he has the dead ball play style plus. And I literally just bring him on for free kicks and corners. and that is the only thing I bring him on for. And I scored 2 of them after he came on. So it's strategy works sometimes, and if you know how to take corners, they are really, really good this year, especially when you have the likes of Haaland, someone with a huge aerial presence, and obviously Conor Dooley made it work here.
Yeah, he's made it work so well. And, you know, with so many players in the box too, it's hard to get your centre back that you want, like your Van Dijk, to get on top of Haaland. When you take them fast like that, that's the way you do it. And he does the trick on this side, goes for the little dinky pass, and he scores it. Conor Dooley just makes it look easy.
Yeah, obviously that is something we recognise when Duffy, within this same group, Duffy did that time and time again in week 1 of eLeague of Ireland. And unfortunately, this time, Dooley is the one that's doing it. And I actually, when I was watching back the game between Conor Dooley and Duffy only today, Conor Dooley went 3-2 up at a time. And to get 3-2 up, he scored that goal against the creator of that finish. And right now we see Haaland with a flick around the corner. Bobby Charlton does finish it off. And it's 5-2 within 53 minutes. But as I said to you, Gareth, I think there's still time. And both of these two fellas are so attacking that Keelan Byrne and Sligo Rovers are definitely not out of this yet.
No, they're not yet. And you can see exactly why. Best on the ball, moving forward with a step over. Oh, he does the shot fake. Has R9 on the ball on the inside and defended incredibly well. Dooley coming through here. We've seen his attack, but that defense was exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, again, you know, he's just done well. He needs to keep it up, though, because we have a whole another 90 minutes after this. And obviously, we still have 30 minutes in this game. There's plenty more time. Even, I think, if Keelan and Sligo Rovers could pull one back before the 90-minute leg 2, then, you know, there's going to be questions asked. I'd say even a 2-goal deficit going into game 2 is something that you can really pull it back from. 3 goals are obviously a little bit more difficult, but 2 goals is either a 1-goal swing away from making it a real game again.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've seen 7 goals here inside 60 minutes, Eric. Who says they can't do it again in the second leg, you know? And does any amount of number of goals can come in that second leg going off the gameplay so far. And this tail isn't even over just yet. Still ball in the midfield of Keelan. He's moving forward with Haaland. Has an option of R9. Goes for the heavy touch there, but just didn't get the timing right.
Yeah, and again, we have Conor Dooley, Caden McCabe easily dispossessed. And we have George Best trying to work some space inside and find Haaland, but he just can't on this occasion. But he does get lucky. Fell to Mbappe, who passes it off. Finds Haaland inside, and it's another goal to make. Cove Ramblers 6-2 up against Sligo Rovers. Again, fantastically worked by Conor Dooley. And I'd imagine Keelan is looking at himself right now thinking, this game might get away from me. He needs to change something quick, Gareth.
I mean, Dooley, every attack we've seen in the last couple of minutes, it's just been perfection. Oh, what a save! Ball dispossessed. R9 just doesn't get the finish there. But yeah, going back to what we were saying, Dooley's been so consistent with his attacking. I mean, look, he's scored, I think, nearly every single attack in the past, 4 attempts here. So he can make it 5. Make it 5, Eric. Make it 5. Unbelievable finish yet again. Bobby Charlton, the pass to perfection, left the keeper on the ground, and Dooley just showcasing his attacking prowess here.
Again, a crazy goal. 7-2 within 70 minutes. I think that's like a goal every 6 minutes. We're being treated to a good one at the moment. I'd imagine Keelan Byrne would not have the same thing to say about this game so far. But you're going to see a player lock into Haaland, who goes for the ball, but Van Dijk is there to intercept. And I think Keelan really needs to do something here. He doesn't have a lot of time left in this leg, and he finds himself 5 goals down after leading twice.
Yeah, I mean, look, he had the opportunities early on. Second half, Dooley's turned it on, and Haaland just doesn't get ahead to that ball. Really good attack yet again, and you can see the pressure's getting to Keelan here. He's finding it very difficult to keep possession, and sometimes you just need a quick reset to get back into the game here, or even a goal possibly, but Roy Keane says no.
No, he does indeed. I think even Haaland here, a great opportunity again for Conor Dooley's Cove Ramblers, as Mbappe steals the ball off Van Dijk, just walks by him and sticks it into an empty net. 8-2 within 77 minutes. Gareth, I knew I said there was going to be goals in this game, but I didn't think we'd have 10 before the first leg was even finished.
Eric, you've undersold this fixture completely. I won't lie to you. There's been a ridiculous amount of goals. 10 goals in 80 minutes. And dare I say, is there time for more? Dooley on the ball, but Keelan defends well, gets that ball out, and seems to have a bit of play towards him, but he just doesn't do it in time. Finn as gets it back here for Dooley, and Dooley's in the driver's seat here. Tries to get skin past Katie McCabe, just doesn't get it working in time. I mean, look, still a chance for arguably 2 goals here, Eric. Keelan needs them.
Yeah, 2 goals would be huge, honestly, because 6 goals is incredible. If you could ever come back from that, we call that the remontada. Once Barcelona played PSG and that happened. So, I would like to see it. I think my heart might explode, but I think if Keelan can get a goal here, he'd be doing well. He's worked the chance amazingly, but the goalkeeper has saved it, possibly overworked a slight bit, but it was amazing play. That might give him that tiny bit of confidence that he needs going into leg 2.
Yeah, really good play there. Had the whole defense guessing, was moving left, was moving right, had the space, but just didn't get that connection with the shot. And great save by the keeper. But here is always offside. I thought Mbappe was through. 3 minutes left on the clock here. 8-2 is the scoreline right now. Cove Ramblers with a very, very steady lead. Can we see a goal from Keelan here? And he has the option with Haaland! And he hits the post, and there's the rebounder. A bit of luck there by Keelan, but that's what he is right now.
Exactly that, Garrett. I think Conor Dooley's not going to stop either. Don't get me wrong. As we see him R1 dribble past everyone's life, and he does a Lacroqueta through the middle of the defense, and he slots. Oh, he doesn't slot it. It hits off the post. I thought Bobby Charlton was licking his lips at that chance, but unfortunately, Conor Dooley's snapping at his hand because he could have had himself 9-3 up in the death of leg 1, but a 5-goal deficit for Keelan Byrne going into leg 2. I'm sure Conor Dooley is still happy, but I think happy with 6 is better than happy with 5.
Wow. I mean, look, what a fantastic match there. Just the amount of goals, Eric. I mean, look, that is insane. An 8-3 scoreline, and we're going into a second game here. We've seen what Dooley can do, but Eric, the real question is here, in the second game, we know Keelan needs to score. Can he defend this onslaught from Dooley for a whole 90 minutes?
I don't really know, honestly. It's going to be very difficult. Again, as I said, there could be any deficit in this game, and I just feel like either are really able to get back into it. The likes of Conor Dooley, who performed amazingly again there. This is the second time we have him on broadcast, and it's the second time he's really showed up to play. And 8 goals in 90 minutes is amazing. But he's not going to stop attacking. We've seen that in the Owen Mulligan game as well. And right now, being an experienced FC player, it's time for him to slow it down. I know it's emphatic and it looks amazing when you get this many goals ahead, but when you're playing against dangerous players like Keelan Byrne for Sligo or like Owen Mulligan with Drogheda United, it's really difficult to keep that scoreline the way it is because these guys are good enough to get back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've seen what Keelan can do. He got those early goals, but then Dooley just started to run away with it. And, arguably similar-esque start to our first fixture today between Mark and Kieran, where both players look kind of similar from the get-go, but one player then just broke apart with the attack and just kept that onslaught coming. And that's where the mental game, I think, comes in. When you're defending those back-to-back-to-back, it can definitely wear you down.
Yeah, for sure. And I must say, anything Conor Dooley touched there just turned the goal. There was chances that just came out of nothing, and he just got to walk it by the goalkeeper or slide it into the far corner. It was amazing finishing. Again, we're seeing a great showmanship of nerves, really, from Conor Dooley, because, I mean, somebody as a newcomer into a competitive scene within FC esports, there's no sign of him buckling in the slightest. He's very capable of attacking. We know that. Obviously, well capable of defending. And it's just a real testament to what kind of player he is mentally, but also then on the sticks.
I mean, look, this is going to be an amazing second leg. Will we see the comeback story of comeback stories, or will we see Dooley setting sail on his victory? Let's have a look, guys. Our second leg between Conor Dooley of Cove Ramblers and Keelan Byrne Sligo Rovers. Here we go. Dooley on the ball to start off here. Of course, we have Conor Dooley of Cove Ramblers from right to left in the Irish away kit, and Keelan Byrne here, Sligo Rovers, going from left to right. And Eric, going off the start here, looks like Dooley's turning on the burners here, and he's looking to get an early goal.
Yeah, he's trying his best anyway. And obviously, we have Sligo in red and Cove Ramblers in white. But we see Conor Dooley moving forward. Bobby Charlton Referee says nothing wrong with that challenge, and it's Haaland to
Oh.
make it 9-3. Oh my lord! Again, if I was Keelan Hobb, I'd probably feel a little bit hard done by there.
I mean, that's a hard pinch to take. You know what I mean? You want to start that second leg strong, and you gotta feel a bit bad for him after that going in, right?
Yeah, I guess there's no VAR. Obviously, it'd be great, but it's just the way it is. The referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge, even though for us there may have been something up with it, and obviously Haaland just easy slides it in once again. Connor Dooley finds himself 9-3 up, and we still have 82 minutes left, Gareth.
We have 82 minutes left, but how many goals are we going to have by the end of it? This is arguably going to be the biggest goal tally we've seen in a fixture so far. Dooley living up to the task. Erling Haaland falls to Mbappe. Oh, what a save by the keeper. Hits it down the middle, but keeper puts it out for a corner here. And it looks like Dooley's going for the record here of most amount of goals. And he nearly gets another one just top of the net. And Eric, how did you stop him?
Yeah, well, corners are tough, and he has Matthias taking the corner, who has dead ball, playstyle plus. Oh my god, it's so difficult realistically. I would probably just sit pretty and pray personally, but at the moment, Keelan just needs more of the ball. He needs to get forward like he is now. Lovely ball into R9. Can he make something happen? Is looking for the cutback. Finds Bobby Charlton again. Twists and turns. Does a step over. And Virgil van Dijk says no. He's a Rolls Royce in defense in real life, but also in FC.
That was so good from Keelan. Very, very unlucky. He played it to perfection just until that mammoth of a man, Van Dijk, and he goes for the power shot. Just goes wide there. And I mean, he's looking for anything to take a hold of here. He gets the foul as well. And you can definitely see that first goal is hitting him.
Yeah, I think it's really difficult, of course. Like, it's not been a 9-3 game. I know there's been a lot of chances, but all the chances for Connor Dooley have led to goals or near enough to it. So I'm a little bit surprised, honestly, about how this is going so far. Just because the chances that have went in are just chances that don't usually always go in. You might get half of them, you might even only get one or two, but anything that is going near the net is just flying into the back. So I'm sure Connor Dooley's very happy about that, but he can't get carried away because not every night is going to be like this, and he has plenty of hard nights ahead.
Yeah, 100%. He's had a great fixture so far, but we're going to see what else he can do here. He's still looking for goals. Doesn't seem to be letting up. And Keelan brings it out for a corner kick here. And Eric, you talked about this setup already. Matthias out wide and Haaland with the header. And that setup routine, Eric, he's got the ball twice now from headers and obviously scored one earlier as well. That routine seems to be very difficult to defend.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible, honestly. He just, obviously, Keelan and Sligo have a Van Dijk in the team, so the best hope he has is to just right stick switch to that Van Dijk and then hope that Haaland doesn't get on the end of it. But right now we see Keelan going forward, looking for the cutback. He finds it, and we see Erling Haaland pull a goal back to make the game 9-4. And maybe a lifeline for the likes of Keelan Byrne and Sligo Rovers. Obviously, 5 goals is a lot to come back from, but there's no mistake in saying that Cove Ramblers will not stop attacking, so chances will be there.
Yeah, look, he's done well there, and arguably, from what he's done there compared to previous chances, he kind of simplified it a bit. He only played 1 or 2 passes and he struck the ball, whereas before we've seen him turn in 2 or 3 times where potentially he didn't need to. So maybe a bit of confidence here, and look, going into this game, it's still early doors, Eric. There's still time to get goals.
Yeah, exactly, and he is coming forward once again. He has Ronaldo on the ball, looking for a pass. He finds George Best into Bobby Charlton, and he does a step over into the space, and it is a goal. So now we're going to see the game at... I'm starting to lose count already. Gareth, please help me.
It's 9-5, Dolly Parton job. And we're going in here. 60 minutes left on the clock, but it's looking like it's going to be an interesting one. All I'd say is if you're watching this at home, folks, buckle up. You're in for a treat right now. Keelan looks like he's getting back into form here that we seen early on in game 1. And game 2, if it goes his way, could be a tighter scoreline than we initially expected. Haaland on the ball out wide, has R9 in the middle. Can he find him? Looking for an option on the edge of the box. Finds Best, goes for the flip-flop, he fakes it. Oh, wow. Roy Keane, Dooley predicted that really well.
He did. He worked it very well, did Keelan Byrne. But again, we've just seen a tiny bit of overworking, perhaps. I think he's complexifying. I'm going to make up a word.
It's a lovely one.
His attack, very much so. You know, I just feel like it doesn't have to be that that creative. Realistically, the goals that Conor Dooley has scored haven't been that creative. Now, they've been very good goals, but they're kind of straightforward, and it's just really hard to stop them. You know, so I think if he takes that approach, even the tiniest bit, a little bit more, he might find himself a goal or two more.
Yeah, he's doing well going forward and simplifying these opportunities, but he's still got to defend Dooley, and that's been the task here. Ball goes up, defended well by Keelan, and he comes out here with another counter attack. They've proven very, very worthy for him so far, but pace there for Dooley, clears the ball again, and Dooley gets it back in possession. Sligo's got to be careful here that they don't lose the ball, because we know what Dooley of Cove Ramblers can do. He scored so many in the last fixture, but it goes back again. And going forward, has the height through ball, and just Dooley's defending there. Done very well to get the ball out.
Yeah, well, I guess the two lads are starting to realise there's only one half here. Conor Dooley is like, right, I'm after letting him get from 6-goal deficit down to 4. I think that's enough. So now his defence, he's not dragging people up as much, and he's starting to think, you know, a little bit more like an FC competitive player. But Keelan Hobb does have one chance here to get himself a goal before the halftime break. Gets by the byline, tries to find Haaland, cannot do it. And now a 4-goal deficit going into the second half of leg 2. This would be insane to see a whole comeback complete by Sligo Rovers. But at the moment, it is still the same score of 9-4 or 9-5, is it?
It's
9-5.
9-4. 9-5, Dolly Parton. Yeah, that's how we know. Yeah, look, it's been incredible so far. Really seen a great side from Keelan Byrne here coming out and getting some goals, you know, putting some pressure on Dooley. I feel like Dooley walked away with that first fixture, especially after the first half, and now he's probably second guessing some of his decisions here. And like you said yourself, you're second guessing bringing players forward. But one player we've just seen again in the mix, that Matthias card, Eric. He's been an absolute monster.
He really has. No, again, maybe, just maybe he had a chance there, and that's very lucky once again. Now, it's just a really difficult game to call. Obviously, 4 goals is a hugely incredible, you know, deficit to be under. But I just feel like there's a little bit of something there for Keelan if he wants it from this game. But right now, Conor Dooley on the attack, looking for maybe even a cutback. He doesn't need it. He tries to go by himself for that sneaky little shot under the goalkeeper that actually goes wide. I've never seen that.
Yeah, very cheeky approach again. But yeah, going wide there is interesting. I don't know if he has precision shooting on or if it was just an unlucky opportunity, but yeah, we see those go in a lot of the time, and nearly every time from the byline they've gone in so far. Dooley going to feel a bit unlucky with that attempt, but his next goes for double digits, Eric, and looks like he's looking for it.
Yeah, and once again we have Mbappe here, who does have a lot of space, and he makes the most of it. No, Dolly Parton, be gone. It's 10-5 now.
Dolly Parton taking a break here. 10-5 on the scoreline. Keelan needs another 5 goals to get back into this. Momentum was all his way there, Eric, for a while, but he's surely going to feel a tiny bit of a pinch to that momentum now with Dooley getting that extra goal.
Yeah, and time is always going to be whispering away from him now. There's very little that he can do. He just has to hope that, you know, maybe Mr. Dooley for Cove Ramblers will fall asleep in the next 20 minutes. Otherwise, it's probably good night.
Yeah, I mean, his attack keeps coming, and here he is again out the wing, where Hernandez looking for an option in the middle. Oh, he might just nuts the keeper. Oh, he might just do it. And there it is. He's done the move, Eric. We've talked about it. If you have a notepad and you play EAFC, that's the move you want to learn this week. Incredible.
Yeah, well, that's what you get when you watch the eLeague of Ireland. You pick up some new tricks, because that was something me and you, as experienced players ourselves, have never seen before this year. And it's worked really, really well. Not only for one person, but now 2. And I think we're going to see that again and again as time goes on.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic piece of work there. And like you said yourself there, Eric, it's not the last time we're going to see it in this event. And I'm looking forward to seeing what other players adapt it to, because it seems a very nice way to run the byline with that R1 dribbling, which we know was overpowered this year. Oh, very good save. But to use its that ability, you know, we're used to seeing the pass back, Eric, but nuts in the keeper, that's a new tool in the box.
Yeah, it really is. The goalkeeper just kind of gives him the target, doesn't he? He just opens the legs for them. And right now we see Haaland in the box. That's going to be a goal. And the second I seen it rise in the air, I was just like, yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop that. And now I think it's good night to Sligo Rovers. And it's 12-5 to Cove Ramblers. Conor Dooley, once again, Garrett, impressing us very much so.
Yeah, he really is relentless. But even on that goal, you can't leave Haaland unmarked in the middle. No. The absolute size of him. He's a behemoth of a man. And oh, that could be a red for Diaz. Pending red card. I think it is. It's a yellow. Wow. Could have been last man back there, Eric. That was tight.
Yeah, I thought it definitely. For me, anyway, if I was the referee, I'd be getting shouted at from the audience, but it would be a red card in my books because Frimpong was clear through straight after that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really was. And you can see possible frustrations here getting to Keelan, and there arguably might be more. Bobby Charlton running through. He's bringing it wide. He obviously wants to cross it in, creating that extra space. Defended well by Van Dijk here, and he's going for a bit of cheek in the middle with Finn Azaz here. Mateus back to Azaz, and he's looking for an Azaz bit of Swaz, and he might get it. Oh, what a save by the keeper. Back to Finn, and defended well by McCabe.
Yeah, I think we all want the Finn Azaz goal, but also I care about Sligo Rovers, and I want to see them do well always because I'm a fan and a friend of Keelan Burns, and right now it's looking difficult. This group, again, though, is still wide open because we've seen Duffy pick up 3 points against Conor Dooley last time out, and now we're seeing him pick up another 3. I really could not tell you in Group B who's going to take it home the spots to the land finals, but at the moment, Conor Dooley is putting himself in a great position.
Yeah, he really is. And, you know, I talked about him earlier being such an entertaining player to watch. And once again, he's just proven it. He's a player that I want to see game after game. I want to see how he improves and how he faces adversity here. And he's just really laid it all out today. Once again, though, oh, he's going for the power shot volley. That's something straight out of my book. Oh, I love that. I love that. Very unlucky not to get the finish with it. But, you know, we're talking, though, about Conor Dooley. But, I mean, Keelan Byrne here, you know, he's put 5 goals past Conor Dooley as well. He's had good opportunities too. So not to take away from his performance here, I just wasn't the attacking prowess of the day that we've seen Dooley perform.
Yeah, it was always going to be a tough game for him. And Jesus, you're seeing Haaland strike that like no tomorrow. But now we have Haaland going off, and we're going to see Robbie Keane coming on, as far as I'm aware. So maybe, just maybe, we're going to see some Robbie Keane goals, perhaps a cartwheel. A few little gun pointers. Who knows?
Oh, listen, I got fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything. Robbie Keane coming on the pitch. Let's see what he can do. Corner kick here. Bog was edge of the box. Roy Keane, cheeky power shot volley. Who's in? No, not just yet. Diaz on the ball. De Bruyne on the edge. He's going for the power shot volley. He's trying to set it up, Eric. I'm loving it.
Yeah, he really is. He wants a highlight flick for himself. If he's going to get anything from this game, it's going to be a good goal for Twitter because he's not getting the 3 points, unfortunately, for him. And it's a lovely shot, but Allison's laughing his way right into the hands of the goalkeeper. That ball is. But yeah, and we see Keelan coming forward here again. Conor Dooley's job is done. You know, Cove Ramblers, 12 goals, 17 goals in this fixture alone, Garrett. It's just incredible what we've seen.
It's absolutely nuts. You know, we talked about some nights having 20 goals overall. You have it in one fixture here. So this really was the game to watch tonight. If you're getting to see this, then you've really seen a spectacle. And there could be more goals. Best on the ball. Tries to flick it in. Robbie Keane with the bicycle. Oh, that would have been tasty.
Yeah, that was... I was getting ready to stand up, actually, because if I saw that get into the back of the net, I don't think I'd be able to exist anymore. But it was a great opportunity. He was just unlucky. Of course, there is only a minute left to go. Congrats to Conor Dooley's performance here. But we might actually have a chance. Robbie Keane is through on goal. And we're going to see him chip the ball into the back of the net. And it does make it 13-5, which is emphatic in its own right. But Robbie Keane scoring a chipped goal is something I'd always love to see, Gary.
I mean, Robbie Keane, he's the goal machine, and he keeps it clean. Unbelievable finish there. Chip over the goalkeeper. Didn't stand a chance. No, runs off to celebrate, and that's going to be the perfect finish to the perfect game for Conor Dooley. Cove Ramblers win this fixture 13-5 to Sligo Rovers. Very good display here by Conor Dooley. Unlucky to Keelan Byrne. Left it all out there, but Conor Dooley was the victor today. Eric, how do we sum up that fixture?
I mean, I knew there was going to be a lot of goals. Did I think there was going to be 18? No, but that's exactly what we got. And I thought it was going to be a closer contest. But again, just one thing happened there that I'm a little bit surprised about is how far away Connor Dooley got from him, got from Keelan Byrne, because every chance that he took just went in. He was getting a few bounces. Look, I'm not trying to put a notch down his performance, but it just seemed to really go right for him tonight. And I do think the next time we see this fixture in a couple of weeks' time, we could see a different, complete fixture.
I mean, yeah, like on any given day, any player has, if they're mentally in the right spot and they're playing their A game, they're in good form here. Like we talked about at the start of the fixture, Keelan Byrne looked very, very good for Sligo Rovers. Started off a fairly even game. Both players getting goals in early and putting pressure on. And I think that's been a tale for most of the games, Eric. I think any game we've seen where one player tears on, it's always been a close start. It's never been a start to finish whitewash. It's always start of the game, feeling the player out, how they're moving, and then it seems to be like a switch that some players turn on, Eric. They have it and the attack just goes crazy. And we've seen Connor Dooley possess that ability tonight.
Yeah, I really think that, if you get a few goals ahead, you can, I don't know, everything becomes a little bit clearer. That nerves that you might have had, that fog that was over the possibilities of the outcomes available within every fixture that you play, that kind of just dissipates and it disappears for just a moment. That allows you to see the passes that you might not have seen when your adrenaline was a rushing a little bit. And Connor Dooley, congrats to him again. He's done phenomenal tonight, even last week as well. It's 6 points on the board for him, and now he's only one point behind first place in Group B.
Yeah, that Group B is looking tasty right now, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it turns out. I mean, looking at a player like Connor Dooley, I want to see him up against some familiar names in here. I'd love to see a fixture against somebody like Mr. Welly or somebody like, JP, or even yourself, Eric, who have been through kind of, a lot of the scene. It's so good to see a player like Connor Dooley come through, and I'd love to see him in one of those games, at least on stream, against, how would I say, a staple in the EAFC community here in Ireland.
Yeah, you know what? Well, all he has to do is make it through groups. And if he does, then he's going to have to be matched with one of us, whether it's myself, whether it's Mr. Welly, whether it's Tyrone, or even JP. That's for sure. All he has to do is get through groups, and he's going to get just that.
Okay, well, listen, speaking of what's coming up in the future, let's take a look at next week's fixtures. So coming up, guys, next Tuesday is going to be where we have our next broadcast. Ryan Duffy takes on Owen Mulligan. We have Jack Fitzpatrick versus Tyrone Ryan, and JP Sleater against Eric Finn. Ooh, that's a good one, Eric. 8 p.m. We have Evan O'Toole versus Sebastian Bury. We have Connor Dooley against Lee Kieran's. Jordan Hayes. I think might be a typo there, unless Lee representing two clubs here. And we've Andrew Toomey as well on the bottom. He is a fixture as well at 8 p.m. Eric, I mean, I just want to go to that game right now. You versus JP. What are you expecting there?
It's going to be a great game, of course. Like, it's going to be tough. Both of us are on equal points. 9 has been gotten by both of us. This is the last game before the reverse fixtures. So, whoever wins this game essentially should come top of their group between myself and JP. So looking forward to it. I had him last year in the groups for eLeague of Ireland, where I topped it pretty easily as well. So I'm looking for a repeat from last year.
Okay, well, Eric, I got to ask you, since we don't have the time next week, I won't keep you too long, but can we get an example prediction for the game?
Let me see. He is a very good player. He's going to score goals, but I'm probably going to score more. I'm going to say 4-2.
Oh, okay. Listen, that's fair, Eric. I know you're a confident man, and that's definitely a fixture I want to watch, so I can't wait to see that. If you folks want to watch it, make sure to tune into our next broadcast at 7:15 p.m. next Tuesday. Eric, thank you so much again for joining me in the studio here. Delighted to have you to talk with me, going through all the games. Do you want to tell the people at home who you are, what you do, and where they can find you?
Well, you can find me here next week playing against JP Sleater with UCD, and that's all you need to know, because right now it's time to get to work, because next week's game is going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a great one, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. Thank you so much again for watching the eLeague of Ireland stream here on FAI TV. Hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.